Howdy and aloha, everyone. It's James with Mana Talk. Mana meaning mystical Polynesian power, and talk meaning use your words. Pretty simple. I was a lot of work this week, really busy, a lot going on. I'm going to try to do this show without my glasses because I just want to try it. So we're going to see what happens. All right. I want to show you this little doodad that's happening out there now. And it's from Kendall Bailey, which maybe some of you know and maybe some of you hate, but I think she's got a lot of information. She does a lot of stuff out there, so I think it's pretty cool. All I'm saying is there's content creators, and then there's paid content creators, and then there are just people that just are trying to share information just so you can make a calculated, common sense decision on things in regards to maybe politics or personally or socially or whatever, health, just name it. But she's pretty political, but the things that she talks about make pretty good sense, and I'm kind of tripping out. I'm not tripping out, but I'm in agreement with her and for her to share this information. But let me share it with you now.
COVID cases have doubled in California, and officials advise indoor masking again.
Oh my gosh.
For CBS.
Jeez. Officials? What officials?
They're saying that the N95 is the best way to protect against this.
Oh.
Isn't the whole state of California like triple
We just
vaccinated?
did this. They just said masking doesn't work.
Didn't even Fauci came out and said
Yes.
masking does not work.
Oh, how stupid.
Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person, potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way, now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
Okay.
A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus. The virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else. It cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to go get more people. That means the vaccines will get us to the end of this.
COVID cases have doubled in California, and officials advise indoor masking again.
Oh my gosh.
For CBS.
Jeez. Officials? What officials?
They're saying that the N95 is the best way to protect against this.
Oh.
Isn't the whole state of California like triple
We just
vaccinated?
did this.
Yeah.
They just said masking doesn't work.
Didn't even Fauci came out and said
Yes.
masking does not work.
Oh.
Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've got some interesting information for you in regards to Trump, because it seems like he's trying to be a little more open about this. I've talked about this several times in regards to his interview with Megyn Kelly. If you look it up, or if you ask me, I'll find it for you. But she surprised him with a concern that, she said, "I'm vaccine injured," and he goes, "What?" The look on his face was like, "You're going to throw that at me now? What the fuck is going on?" And it threw him off. And he's been a proponent of that thing for a long time because he's got his name on it. He's got his stamp on it. I get it. But from what I always said, and from what I always thought, and from what I always believed, was, look, Anthony Fauci is the greatest pharmaceutical representative on the planet. He's conned many presidents and cabinet members and whoever else is out there, and most of the, thinking somewhat public in the United States, that what he says is final and that's what you should trust. But we've come to find out, and it's been obvious, that everything that that man has said has been completely and totally farcical propaganda, and most of all, just a fucking bullshitter. He's a car salesman for the big pharmaceutical industry. You know, not put car salesman down, but he's that guy, and he's a good one. And he's done it. And he did it to Trump. Trump took it hook, line, sinker. Bought a bunch of 100 million doses from Pfizer, 100 million doses of Johnson Johnson. I went over that back in 2020. Said he's got the warp speed going on. Him and Bill O'Reilly came out in 2021. Hey, buddy, does it work? Yeah, it works. Is it working for you? Yeah, it works for me. And I've always said, I want to know who's really taking it. Right? I've always wanted to know who the fuck is taking it. And I think that's got to be the smoking gun. And I've tried to get Dr. Shiva, who I think could probably create a systems process or whatever. He always talks about systems. Of just a simple blood or saliva test, swab, or something like that, to see if you've taken it. There's something in there in that thing, the mRNA, that you could probably check, that you could probably find, or to see if somebody's actually taken it. Yeah, I would definitely guess there's something like that. And you know, I've sent emails, I've texted and messaged several doctors, and nobody seems to want. They've said, well, you go to a phlebotomist and they can check it, or and there's a way to test your blood and certain things to do to see if that could. But we need to have it, and I've brought this up. I don't know, fucking forever on how this works. Why am I so small here? And it's this right here. And I've always said, look, if you want to know who the real liars are and the real bullshitters are, right? The question that nobody's asking, is there a medical procedure or a test that a person could take that would indicate or detect, I don't have my glasses, brother, if they have any type of the COVID mRNA vaccine in their blood system, body system, anywhere in the blood, right? And I've brought that up several times because I'm really concerned that people still are okay with, you know, Elizabeth Warren was questioning. She even said, no, I didn't take it. Well, a lot of people from Congress were unmandated. They didn't have to take it. They were exempt. A lot of people from even Pfizer were exempt from taking the same thing that they're pushing. And a lot of CDC officials back in the day in 2020, 2021, 2022, you know, this time where they're pushing this, in my opinion, this gigantic Fluvid-19 genocidal bioweapon, blah, 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 which I think that's what it really is. And it's just amazing to me that now we're starting to see some skepticism by Donald Trump. He's kind of saying, hey, man, I don't really think that's going to work out too well. Let me just go here. Where was it? Trump says, is it right here? No, it's not one of those. It's in here. Yeah. Oh, this is funny. All right. These people are still pushing this crap. This is funny. This is somewhat on topic, but it's just RFK knows the thing is what I'm saying what it is. He knows Fluvid-19 injection, blah, 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 that they've been using on people, the mRNA, blah, 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 and he knows it. He's not stupid. He knows. But he's got to be careful, because if he gets a little too overboard, then Trump might get rid of him. But I think Trump is coming. He's kind of doing a 180 here. Oh yeah, I had it. Sorry, give me a second. It's a lot going on. And that was right here. Let me just grab it.
So, Ridge is already really good at the wallet and all the everyday carry stuff, but I was surprised with how much they were able to do with their first.
That the COVID vaccines, are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Also on yesterday's show, we talked about President Trump's post about the COVID vaccine. This is a 180 for President Trump. In the past, he's been very loyal to the COVID vaccine, but now he is asking for more details. He says many people think that the COVID vaccines, are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree, with CDC being ripped apart over this question. I want the answer, and I want it now. I've been shown information from Pfizer and others that's extraordinary, but they never seem to show those results to the public. Why not? They go off to the next hunt and let everyone rip themselves apart, including Bobby Kennedy Jr. and CDC, trying to figure out the success or failure of the drug company's COVID work. They show me great numbers and results, but they don't seem to be showing them to many others. I want them to show now to CDC and the public and clear up this mess one way or the other. I hope Operation Warp Speed was as brilliant as many say it was. If not, we all want to know about it and why. Thank you for your attention to this very important matter. As I said yesterday on the show, this takes tremendous humility, and it's one of the qualities that I admire the most about President Trump is his intellectual curiosity. He wants to know the truth, even if the truth isn't necessarily the position that
it's not going to go in his favor unless it's tainted or not. I mean, who knows? But the problem here is, and I think I need to kind of share this with you guys as well, is he kind of, I don't know if he's going backwards or forwards on this, but it really seems as though that I think I'm pretty much sure I saved this right here. And I'm not sure when this was.
Right,
let's just.
Can I ask you another Florida question? The vaccine mandates that were rolled back for school children. What do you think about that?
Well, I think we have to be very careful. Look, you have some vaccines that are so amazing. The polio vaccine, I happen to think, is amazing. A lot of people think that COVID is amazing. You know, there are many people that believe strongly in that. But you have some vaccines that are so incredible. And I think you have to be very careful when you say that some people don't have to be vaccinated. It's a very tough position. So I'd give you an answer. I'll give you a feeling. But just initially, I heard about it yesterday, and it's a tough stance. Look, you have vaccines that work. They just pure and simple work. They're not controversial at all. And I think those vaccines should be used. Otherwise, some people are going to catch it, and they endanger other people. And when you don't have controversy at all, I think people should take it. Okay?
One more.
God. I think you have to be very careful when you said that some people don't like to be vaccinated. They're just pure and simple. They work. They're not controversial at all, and I think those vaccines should be used. Wow. And I said, this is the most idiotic part of Trump besides hanging out with Bill Gates. It is. It's fucking... There's some naivete with him, and I'm concerned about that. And he's being sincere. I think he's being completely and absolutely sincere with what he's saying. I just think that the people that are... this happens to presidents all the time. Spoiler alert, there are some people that surround the president in his immediate group or his cabinet or his think tank or whatever they may be that are corrupt, that are tainted, that are not vetted fully. And I think this is the problem with Trump, because he's just too nice. I mean, fucking the other day, there he is sitting with fucking like his two worst enemies that were basically trying to kill him. Basically, right? One was Mark Zuckerberg, who has flipped around and now he's going to invest about $600 billion into whatever the fuck they're doing, data centers, I don't fucking know, which that's concerning to me as well. But then at this dinner, they've got Melania Trump, who really didn't seem very comfortable with that. Let me kind of jump into that real quick, because it was just like, I don't know, man. I don't think I don't know. I really don't think that Melania is really happy now. Now again, as I said, Trump is a person that is extremely hard to get in touch with. I do believe he has that Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson syndrome thing going on around him, when there's just people out there telling him everything he wants to hear. Not what he needs to hear or should hear, but what he wants to hear to make his day or to make him happy or to stroke him or whatever. Lick his fucking ass, which is the sad part. Oh, here's a good one. Cat turd. Liberals, we want our high crime back. That's it. That's pretty much it. But here's the thing that's going on right now. So Terrence Cable, Melania Trump is being accused of being rude and disrespectful to Bill Gates. People are upset by the look she gives him. Yeah, it's like, ugh. If I wouldn't want, okay. A lot of people already talked about this. I've been busy for the past few days. I work late, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. I'm trying to think of why in the fuck would you want the greatest, not the greatest, greatest treasonous, criminal, genocidal maniacs, depopulation czar next to your wife. Dude, what the fuck? Or even in the same room as you. It's just dumb. I'm dumbfounded by that act. And then I'm trying to think, well, why? Are they going to... Maybe they're trying to manipulate him to do the better thing or the right thing or get on board. Maybe that's what the meeting was really about, because nobody was able to watch the meeting that happened between Bill Gates and Trump a few days ago. Nobody was able to report and watch him talk or anything like that, which I don't like. I just don't like that shit. I don't care. Look, if you're doing work on behalf of the American people, we want to see it all. I want fucking cameras 24 hours these days. I just do. And if you're not saying that, because look, the DMV is a good example. The DMV and most government offices across state, even city, state, city, county, state, especially federal, right? You go and go get your social security code. You go in and go get your driver's license. You go in and get registration. Whatever you're fucking doing, there's cameras everywhere. Well, they work for us. We pay their salaries, even though Trump doesn't take the salary. But I want to know what the fuck these people are talking about. Now, if they're just partying on weekend, they're off work, whatever. But when you're the president of the United States, and this is the way it really works, you are at the beck and call of the American people. That's what it should be. You should be doing everything in your power, to make sure that the people that voted you in, the 71 or 77, I don't know what the fucking number is, but it was a hell of a lot more than what Biden got, to make them happy. Everything in your power to make those MAGA, those MAHA, those Make America Safe Again, MASA, and whatever that is. You need to make those people extremely happy because they voted for you. I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. It was a no-brainer for most people that were able or capable or decided to vote. Definitely I wasn't going to go with the Green Party because they're like so aligned with the World Economic Forum. It's disgusting. Just go look at their website and then go to the World Economic Forum's website. It's almost identical. You know, whatever party you're with, I would definitely say that the Republican Party is more aligned with what I wanted. And what shaped the Republican Party in the past few years is Donald Trump, especially when his daughter-in-law, whatever her name is, Trump, Tammy Trump, it'll come to me, took over the Republican Party, and I thought that was great. And then things have changed. They're more in line with people and a conservative movement, right? Which is fine. But this right here is just very telling to me. In a way that I'm concerned about. I'm kind of concerned. I'm more concerned basically with the fact that there are people in his cabinet that say, hey, man, this genocidal, treasonous, globalist maniac depopulation czar wants to come and hang out with you. I mean, it just fucking baffles my mind. And then Trump's like, okay, bring him in, you know. But who knows what that guy could have brought in or did, or I mean, for God's sakes, I just don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. I do not trust him or Fauci at all. You know, these two people, Klaus Schwab, Larry Fink. You know, I mean, just there's a ton of people out there that I'm just like, are you fucking crazy? Are you kidding me? Why would you be a part of that? And I'm trying to figure out why. So maybe he is getting to Bill Gates saying, look, man, we could do a lot of investigating on you. We've got a lot of information already. I'm sure you have a lot of on everybody else. Fine. You know, Microsoft, you see everything, you know everything. I get it. You're part of the internet. You're basically the internet. Windows, blah, blah, blah. But there are some things that we can question because we are the law now. The Department of Justice is run under my supervision. So you could either play your cards right, get on board with us and stop this fucking climate shit, stop this fucking depopulation shit, and stop this other crap and jump aboard with us, right? Or we can keep digging down that easy, small, tiny little half-inch hole to get to all the crap that you've done to millions of people across the planet, especially in Africa. I mean, I could go over the stories, and I've done a lot of information on it already. If you need anything, just let me know. Like I say, you can check with me. But that could have been the thing. And then next thing you know, he's sitting next to Melania, and she's just like, I don't like this guy. He's a creepy fucker. And he is. He's a fucking creepy son of a bitch, man. He's just a creepy ass son of a bitch. But that was just really crazy to me that they shared that. But I'm just hoping that's the thing. And me to make that assumption, I'm just making it an ass out of myself or you and me or whatever case may be. But I do kind of think that he's naive to a lot of things. I do believe that Trump is not hearing the information that he should hear or needs to hear. I think he's hearing information from people that just want to make him happy, want to lick his ass. It's the Tyson/Michael Jackson syndrome where they just accolade you and polish your nuts as much as possible. And that's what I think is happening with Trump on a constant basis. And I see it. In fact, you can see it in real time with all the people in his cabinet. And I'm waiting for somebody to say, hey, man, this is something we've got to address. You cannot be fucking around Bill Gates. You cannot like this vaccine anymore. You can stop doing this because maybe you did get played. And you need to tell people. I mean, I would understand if he said, look, I trusted the guy that presidents before me trusted. And that makes sense. That actually makes sense. But pulling the trigger and starting your warp speed or your launch or whatever the fuck that was, based on that information, that kind of makes sense. But at the same time, you might have to take responsibility for that. That's another thing. That's another thing people need to understand is I showed kind of two sides of this. You've got that girl from the internet. What the fuck is her name? Hang on. Liz Wheeler, who was one of the people that had the binders from the influencer, the social networking influencer, who had one of the Epstein binders that just had a bunch of redacted stupid shit in it. Who was played, but then, kind of stuck with it. And she's pretty loyal to Trump and a few others. So she comes out and says, look, he's kind of taken a 180. And then I kind of show you that he's not. Right? Right here. He's not. He's still in that spot. And this is the problem I'm concerned about because now he's kind of in a place where Robert F. Kennedy, who I think is just really doing a great job, right? And I put this out here. Let me see if that's here. Damn. I gotta go. Didn't I repost that? I thought I reposted it. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Liz Churchill, I would follow her, and we've talked a few times messaging and stuff like that, but she's not wrong here, right? I mean, you've got you've got to start the guy that's doing, in my opinion, with what has just happened in the past 4.5, 5 years with this Fluvid-19 scam, you know, helped push the 2020 election, kept people in their doors, kept, you know, did a lot of things. But it's weird because BLM people were out, you know, destroying cities and breaking shit, which is okay. And then you've got this simple fact. Senator Elizabeth Warren did not take the COVID vaccine. She didn't. She's admitted to it. While forcing others to, as she was forcing others to do the same. And she also took $1.2 million from Big Pharma. mRNA was found years after vaccination. This synthetic mRNA was engineered in the Chinese in Wuhan, right? This is crazy. And then we got a new push on Facebook where we got a lot of people just recently. Look at this. This is good. This is nuts. Right? This is a Democrat supporter on Facebook that somehow they're my friend because I used to be a Democrat. I don't know. 2015, 16, and then Bernie fucking bent over for everybody. Here we have another Democratic Party supporter completely. Let me see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me make sure you can see that. Okay. Yeah. Here we have another Democratic Party supporter completely dependent on poisonous petroleum-based drugs that haven't cured anything since they were produced in 1910, just after the Rockefellers produced the abomination called the Flexner Report that destroyed holistic, homeopathic, natural, and organic remedies. Yes, some were cures, by the way, that humans across the earth have been using for thousands of years, maybe even longer. And that's just nuts. Oh, I want to go here. Golf Ranch, Lee Summit. Clocks your speed, time, does all kinds of cool shit. It's pretty cool. Interesting. Mike John claims Trump was FBI agent. I'll get to that in a second. We got a problem with farmers. Farmers are having a hard time right now. And I got to do this because this is just driving me crazy. Right? Beef is over twice it was in 2019. What the fuck is going on, man? Come on, JFK. I know you're in good shape and everything. There's a thing now that Trump was also an FBI asset informant. It's not implausible that Trump was an FBI asset to take down Jeffrey Epstein. Who knows? Maybe that's why he's not really. Why he's saying it's a hoax. He's trying to get. It was just that whole thing was just retarded. Yes, it was retarded. Oh, here it is. There.
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and, kids to have a chance to learn. So,
yikes, man! If only.
Yeah, anomaly there. I'm just like, fuck off. I just can't believe That fucking dude is still around. I mean, I swear to God. You just watch. Let me see if I have this. Hang on. And then on the other hand, you have this guy. Right? Let's play this.
Finally, I would like to address the recent shakeups at CDC. These changes were absolutely necessary adjustments to restore the agency to its role as the world's gold standard public health agency with the central mission of protecting Americans from infectious disease. CDC failed that responsibility miserably during COVID, when its disastrous and nonsensical policies destroyed small businesses, violated civil liberties, closed our schools, caused generational damage in doing so, massed infants with no science, and heightened economic inequality. And yet all those oppressive and unscientific interventions failed to do anything about the disease itself. America is home to 4.2% of the world's population, yet we had nearly 20% of the COVID deaths. We literally did worse than any country in the world. And the people at CDC who oversaw that process, who put masks on our children, who closed our schools, are the people who will be leaving. And that's why we need bold, competent, and creative new leadership at CDC. People able and willing to chart a new course. As my father once said, progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator, and change has its enemies. That's why we need new blood at CDC. That's also why it's imperative that we remove officials with conflicts of interest and catastrophically bad judgment and political agendas. We need unbiased, politics-free, transparent, evidence-based science in the public interest. Those are the guiding principles behind the changes at the CDC, and that is what you can expect all across our agency for the next 3 years.
Amen, brother. A to the effing men. That's just freaking awesome. Yeah, so there's some conflicts here. We've got Trump who's saying, nah, he's, it's just getting... So Trump wants to see the information, and depending on where it comes from, bro, that's what you're going to get. If you want to get it from America's Frontline Doctors or Thomas Wren or Dr. David Martin, who I brought up several times, or James Corbett with the Corbett Report, then I think you're going to get something different. Look at this Cuntus. Oh, no, delusional. This is happening everywhere. Look at these people.
Everybody, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. here, your new king of healthcare. I'm trying to audition for Saturday Night Live. I think that's what I'm going to do on Saturday night. Everybody.
Liberals, white women are now getting more COVID booster shots while mocking JFK. This is like a big thing. Just do it. Go get it. Just, if you're trying to get pregnant, good luck. If you're trying to survive for the next few years health-wise, good luck, because you fucked yourself over, basically. You're pretty much done. Just saying. That would have been so cool at night. A Kilauea on the big island of Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean has this giant tornado, in a sense, during a volcanic eruption. And we're talking, just letting you know, that cliff right there is about 500 to 1,000 feet. That thing is just spewing gigantically. That would have been awesome to see at night. All right. The dumbest thing that Trump ever did was to try to act like it wasn't anything and called it a hoax. Now, this Epstein thing is getting stupid. All right. Let me just see if that's... was that a reply? I don't know. All right. So yeah, this is... So these people are just here. This Irene Garcia, breaking news, 1,000 people plays. This is old. This is like several days old. We the people of Carrier is back. Give me a thumbs up if you support this man. I support the man. But here's what's really pissing off the Democratic Party base, because I would say most of them are just in disgusting shape and possibly just bored of taking medication after medication after medication just to fucking whatever exist. According to Ron Whedon, this is one of the reasons why I'm so dangerous. So July 19, Kennedy hiked in jeans in blazing Arizona sun on a day when the temperature was about 100 reportedly to hit. And I'm telling you, I've been there when it's been 113, 114 degrees. It's crazy. His choice of attire appeared to conflict with CDC guidance that people were lost to. So this guy just climbed like a mile or so up this giant hill when it was super hot with the sun. That's crazy. And you know, it's so, you know, being healthy is just, those are the kind of people we just don't want telling us what to do with our health and wellness, right? It's just fucking retarded. It is retarded that the Democratic Party supporters just even think in this direction. Progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator. And change has its enemies. That's true. That was quoted by Secretary Kennedy, but I think his father said it. You just said that and you heard it. Bernie Sanders, piece of crap. Well, Bernie wants to know, are the senators on the finance committee who took money from Big Pharma all corrupt? What do you all think? Pretty much. You're one of those, buddy. Would you support President Trump running for a historic third? Of course I would. But he'll be too old. He won't. It won't happen. But didn't he run? He might if he can be around people that are vetted and won't try to take him out. There's Harry Sisson, freakazoid. Alright, this is ridiculous and infuriating. Ivermectin needs to be over the counter and widely available to everyone. No, wait a second. You got to be careful with that stuff. You can't just, that and hydroxychloroquine are good. That works. It's not horse dewormer. It's not bad for anybody. They're like Nobel Prize winning medications. But the thing is you just don't want people just dumping it down their throats, because that could happen. So you got to be careful with that. MTG. A small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Yeah, I'm just not buying that one either. Let me go to my post, because I think I just recently did. Oh, wait a second. All right, let me go back to here. Just a moment. There we go. Where are we at? So we got. Make this a little smaller so we can read it. So it's in the view. All right, burger erection when 11-year-old takes this kid took a machete at this guy and he made him leave. Good. Armored, yeah, that's Iron Man stuff. We do already know that 50 years later, failed climate change predictions happened all over and it never came to fruition. They were all bullshit. Hand signal distress leads to arrest. What's interesting about this story is it didn't say why she was making the distress, because it's California. We know it was possibly a domestic something, but it doesn't say what the guy did and why she did the distress. This is interesting here. How 5,000 people would sleep on an aircraft carrier? I'm telling you, it's fucking crazy. I've been on it. I have never been worried as I am now. Arkansas farmers gather. Oh, there's a farmer thing happening I wanted to bring up. Live Trump deploys National Guard in Chicago. There you go. Good. People are just can't wait because Chicago's turned into a shit fuckhole. What is this about? I am curious about this.
In the studio with more, Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Now those representatives in attendance will be taking these concerns they heard to Washington, D.C. to share with the government leaders so they can try and find a way to solve this problem before it's too late. Reporting in the studio, Jake Tester, K8 News.
Yeah, I'm concerned about this too. I really feel because farmers don't just farm here. But here's the problem. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. It's called the foreign crap. I had it on my phone and I was looking for it on my Facebook and now I can't fucking find it. But it's called I made a picture of it right here. It's called the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. That's part of it. But what they do is they're big on foreign trade or foreign exports, import, export, stuff like that. And there's another group out there with this group, and they're also part of the exporting, here's the thing. There are 315, 320, 335, whatever, Americans in the United States, population-wise. And over half of them are working and eating and need food, etc. A lot of kids, etc. You know what I'm saying? So the problem here is there's export everywhere. But what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to make sure that our stuff, our stuff that we send out isn't tariffed to death by other countries. So he's letting those other countries know that, hey, let's be on equal sides here. Let's be on equal sides. Why as a country should I have to pay 50% more on a tariff when you only have to pay 20%? It's not what Trump's trying to do, and it's hurting these farmers, because these farmers are trying to get their products out across the globe. A lot of farmers that have anything. We're talking corn, soybean, you name it, anything out there, even beef. They're trying to get the international market, which has always been there, but not that great. But Trump's trying to make it fair. But the problem is these other countries don't want to play, and some of these other countries that don't want to play are big customers. They're big customers of these farmers. So I get what they're saying. There has to be a thing. And the guy said, I don't want to check. I just want to sell my product, and I want to make money. Right? The lady said the combine, in order to make their products, or deliver or produce their products, whether it's cattle, whether it's grain, whatever it is, it costs a lot of money. The prices, there's got to be a way to save these farmers with a tax exemption or some kind of subsidiary to help them out. Something that's going to help them be able to create and provide more food, not just for the us in the United States, which some of these packers charge, like Tyson and Gilbrand, they charge a shit ton of money. Let me just check my Instagram, because I had what this guy was saying. Where is it? Instagram. I gotta check my reels. Hawaii Sky tonight. Nobody cares. I don't know what that is. Where's my save stuff? Messages. Where's my saved? Search settings. Your activity. Oh, here it is. Yeah. I don't think I saved it. Shit. Oh my god, I didn't save it. Damn it, Jim. Yeah. There's the family stuff. I'm trying to find this crap. Hang on. No, that ain't it. Who's that? Oh, darn it. I gotta get it off there. Is it here? I think it's here. Making a bill. Yeah. I didn't save it. Darn it. Did I post it here though? I think I posted it here and saved it. This is the part everybody loves about my show. It's hard to set this shit up. I'm just saying. It's not easy to do this shit. Okay, not there. Reels. Let me see. Let me just check it. I think I can get to this guy's Instagram. His name is... Oh, shit. It's the one of the foxes in the hen house of beef industry. NCBA. From the farm. God, I knew it. So there's where the problem lies, and I'm really concerned about that when it comes to the farmers, and if these tariffs are hurting them. I'm because I know he's for the farmers, but I just think that there needs to be more attention to that, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. I mean, I feel for these people. They definitely need to have the attention that everybody else is getting, right? I mean, Trump has given attention to foreign countries galore, but like I said, MTG, Gates, Massey, and a bunch of others, let's focus on the United States. Let's take care of our farmers here. Let's take care of our people, our workers, and everybody here first. And I think that's kind of where we need to be. I mean, I don't see that we should be anywhere freaking else. I do realize this, though. I'm going to say this. I do realize that there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of things that are happening. And I've got to say it this way because I think it's important to say this. It's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be some fluctuations, and I'm not siding with Trump on this. I'm just saying that there's going to be some things that are going to negatively affect us now, but maybe gradually get better later, or gradually get worse, and then someday it's just going to turn and get better for us. But what's happened the past 4.5 years with the illegitimate Biden administration was just horrific and heinous and just fucking crazy. And they were literally trying to take this country down like you wouldn't fucking believe. And that's what their job was, period. And I've gone over how they've done that. But this guy right here, I'm going to show you, see if you can see him, if this thing will adjust. Right. And the name of if you see that guy, he's got some good stuff. Oh, USA Farmers. That's it. Hang on. Let me see if I can get it here. S Farmers. Yeah, these tariffs are crushing farmers. See, that's, and they know it. This is 2 days ago. This is becoming a problem, right? How's he going to fix this? We're just, it's like, what a bunch of dicks. It's not Trump. People think it's Trump. It's not Trump. And these guys understand it because most of them voted for Trump. But the problem is he wants equal tariffs, right? But all of a sudden he's just because he's asking for an equal playing field in regards to tariffs, the Chinese just go boop and skyrocket their tariffs. They're charging these farmers an exporting fee. That's it. That's it. An exporting fee. And it's bad. So let's sell here. Let's focus more on here. But they produce a lot. They just produce a lot. Record harvest, no profits. 3 days ago, Trump goes mad as U.S. farmers just lost everything. China cuts off markets. This is bad. This is not good. Pitcher, Ben Sparks. So Canada, look at all these pigs. Unbelievably hog hunt. Farmers eliminate 739 wild hogs in just 60 minutes. Holy shit. Wild boars, man, they'll come after you. That's all I got to tell you. Yeah. Oh, this guy right here with the NCBA. Let me look that up real quick. I'm looking for U.S. farmers. He said on YouTube they had U.S. farmers. Is that on Instagram maybe? I'm going to find out. Let's find out. There's candy on my... Hey, Candy. Candy just had a baby, everyone. Congratulations to Candy. I've known her for a long time. She's an amazing woman. This is great. I love the smell of deportation in the morning. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Yeah, they're coming. Why would you want to stop people from stopping criminals and illegal? It's just, that doesn't make sense to me. Peter McCullough. Maxine's Mythology, Ideology, and Reality. Nice book, buddy. Bishop Museum, Hawaiian Lady, very old. Oh, look what we got here. Healthcare campaign contribution. Sanders, Vermont, $23 million. Warnock, Raphael, Georgia, $14 million. Elizabeth Warren, $10,477,000. Yeah, all these Demoncrats, all these people that are embedded with Big Pharma are against Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I gotta find this. How do I search in here? Oh, it says right here, stupid. Alright, let's see if I got USA farmers. U.S. farmers? Is it U.S. farmers? Let's see if that's the one. There it is. U.S. farmers. All this stuff isn't cheap, people. I'm going to start following these guys. Fritz Farms. But I want to show you this too, because I think it's important. We show the NCBA, National Cattlemen's Beef. Yeah. And then I'm going to get going because I've had enough. Okay, so the key issues. Let's look at the advice policy that won't burden business. Find resource permit. There was something here I found. This is organized cattle farmers. Let me see who works. Can I? 50 head. An average cattle farmer or ranch has fewer than 50 head of cattle. 96% of cattle farmers and ranchers are family owned. 50 states cattle are raised in 50 U.S. Yeah, it's cool. Farm bill, tax relief. 96% of farm ranches are family owned and producers need lower tax sustainment, but they do. Cattle producers rely on farm bill programs to protect animal health, recover disaster. Yes, yeah. When a ranchers testify at Mexican Wolf, the listing using yeah, this is it. So the trade part of it is what they really it's kind of the wolf in sheep's clothing, because it's all about importing, exporting, and it's not about here. That's my concern. It's not about the prices for us. And we've got to really work on that, because for fuck's sakes, man, a T-bone steak is still fucking over 2 times more than it was just 4 years ago. And that's crazy to me. That's just literally crazy to me. So, anyway, there's a lot that needs to be. Trump needs to jump on that and fix it immediately and find a solution. They don't want checks. They want to work. Right? Uh-oh. You won't believe that what Trump just ordered. What did he order? We win. Supreme Court issues 9-0 unanimous decision for Second Amendment and constitutional fight. Good. That's good. Oh my God, what's this? Barbara Eden? That's not Barbara. Barbara Eden is alive and at 94 years old. That's fucking awesome. That is fucking awesome. Oh, who's this chick? What is this guy wearing?
I ain't gonna clean shit and they only pay me to run wire. I ain't gonna clean shit and they only pay me to run wire.
What the fuck was that? It's... Lots of interesting information. APT archives. Oh, hey, Kelly, what are they doing? Election security, SIS cuts, Albert. Bram is in there, John. What are they doing? I didn't know. I gotta... Well, heck, people.
He says, you know, the text of that act uses words like coordinate, facilitate, and enable. And, you know, he goes on here to say that, you know, Wired, he lists off a couple here, talking about the removal of these CISA employees as fundamentally detrimental to the cyber posture of our country. It doesn't resonate for me at all. And then the Cyberscoop article mentions that it has more to do with the mis and disinformation monitoring that is really what they were doing, is what CISA's role.
There are several others. You know, our state law actually requires that we comply with federal guidelines, which I think is a positive.
Because I know, to me, the part in his executive order that says that
Trump said paper ballots, and in certain situations you could mail if you're in the military or you've already got pre-clearance, whatever the case may be. But we need to go back to fucking receipts with paper ballots, and that's what he's asking to do. He also needs to make every 2 years, election days, our freaking national holidays. And then, boom, everything's fine. But you guys want to... Look, this is Maricopa County. Where's that fucking... California, or, sorry, Arizona, New Mexico, somewhere over there, right? Yeah, this whole system was bullshit. Yeah, that was just the biggest rigging. Yeah, so I've already brought this up. I'm glad they're still talking about it. I think it's a good idea. And then I'll leave on this note. Good for you guys. But here it is in a nutshell. Dominion, we all know, Dominion machines, they were the worst at American Eagle or some other, and a few other companies, and I did a lot of information and research on that. Even Stevie with Red Economics did some great work on this. I, again, wish she would be back out there doing her stuff because she was just tremendous. And she will be again. I just have a feeling that one day she's going to do it and make it happen because she has that kind of drive, and I think it's in there somewhere. That spark will happen and start firing up, and then she'll be out there doing her thing and get that information out there. She was great at doing it, and she was just wonderful to watch too. So here's the thing. We have, and I'm going to tell you now, a system that is broken. And we know that a lot of this, that a lot of states, and not just blue states, have been corrupted, tainted, rigged, all this other stuff. We know COVID had a big part of in 2020. We know a lot of ballots were stuffed. I mean, there's just a plethora of information, even during Bernie Sanders, all this other stuff. You know, go back and back. But the basic thing is, it just needs to be done paper ballot, show your ID, and vote. You know, I don't want the third guy winning. And I used to think that what was that? The Green Party had. I forgot the name of it. I can't believe I forgot the name. It just came to my head and disappeared. Oh my God. Hang on. It was called, the Green Party was Mass Formation Psychosis. No, that wasn't it. It was where they all vote for somebody and whoever they voted for the more gets it. But, what the fuck is this system? God damn it, I hate this. That's pissed. Now I'm pissed off at myself. Green Party voting system. Reprise numerous ballots. Ranked choice. Oh, God. Jesus. I can't believe I fucking forgot that. That is so stupid. And I think that's retarded. Because what I want to see, and I'm gonna tell you, is I don't want to vote. I don't want the loser winning. I want the winner to win. The majority vote. That's it. Period. Which is kind of similar. But I want the system that we have where you just vote and whoever gets the most votes, the person that gets the most votes. Because, see, this is the problem with ranked choice voting, I'm going to tell you, because I figured this out. You could have 50 fucking people running for office for one position, or you could have 1,000 fucking people. And then with that being the case, all of a sudden, you've got one person that has 30% of the votes and everybody else has 10%. So that person with the 30 wins. But maybe that's not the one everybody wanted. It's just, I want, that person that I want to win. That's it. Okay? I just don't think that's ranked choice voting is winning. I think it's stupid. I thought it was cool at the beginning, but it's not. I think it's fucking retarded. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just going to end with that. But bottom line is, I'm going to say the bottom fucking line is, paper ballots, right? Every 2 years, paper ballots. This should be a national holiday. Show your ID. I mean, they have face recognition now, for God fucking sakes. And just vote, right? And no more illegal immigrants used as census data information, which is what the Biden administration did or wanted in regards to letting all these fucking people in here. Other than that, I'm going to tell you right now, we need to make sure that Trump does what he's supposed to do, and the people that are surrounded by Trump, I'm going to keep saying this, and I'll keep saying this, vet the people. You need to give the guy the facts. Even though it might hurt you or his feelings, that's not what this is about. I mean, Trump's a pretty cool cat, but I'm going to say, he's doing a job for us. People just aren't getting that. And then I think I had this up. I think it was a really, right here, right? And this is it. This is it right here. All right? I'm going to say this. What so many fail to understand is that MAGA is not about Donald Trump, and it shouldn't be, right? MAGA is about America. It's about our country. We, the people, were searching for anyone willing to fight corruption and preserve freedom. That's it. We found that in Donald Trump. Nobody else. There was nobody else that fucking even came close to that. He is our choice. That's the choice we made. You see, it's not a cult. It's a revolution. Make America great again. It's that simple. That's where I was at. I didn't want to go with fucking Kamala. I didn't want a bunch of fucking cross-dressing Monty Python crazy fucks, which is funny. It would have just been hilarious. Roaming the Capitol, right, in my house. I didn't want fucking men cross-dressing, playing in women's sports anymore. I didn't want Ukraine continuously fucking, money laundering money from us anymore. I didn't want fucking the J6 committee to be created again. I didn't want the World Health Organization to come back and take over our country, which they were definitely going to do under Kamala or Biden, or that illegitimate presidency, which basically Canada has already done, and Australia and a few other fucking weak-ass piece of shit countries out there. And the list can go on, and the reasons why I voted for Trump, what I'm going to tell you right now. It was a fucking great day in heck. A great day in this world when fucking that guy became president. And I think he'll do what he's supposed to do. I just want him to just, for people around, just tell him the truth. You've got to be honest with the guy. He deserves it. And the data that's coming from Pfizer and all that stuff needs to be shared and not tainted, because I swear to God, everybody's going to know if it's bullshit. All right, that's all I want to say. I want to say aloha to everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Aloha.